What if I told you that by the time you wake up tomorrow, you could be completely untouchable, immune to insults, immune to rejection, immune to anyone who tries to steal your peace? Most people spend their lives as emotional puppets. A rude comment pulls their strings. A cold shoulder yanks their mood. One unexpected jab and their entire day derails. But it doesn't have to be this way. How many times has one careless remark ruined your morning? How many nights have you replayed a conversation, jaw tight, heart racing, long after it ended? You told yourself you were fine, but you weren't. The anger just sat there, simmering. Here's what the Stoics knew and science now proves. You can become emotionally bulletproof. Not numb, not cold, but grounded. Like a mountain in a storm. Wind howls, rain crashes, but the mountain doesn't move. That's the strength we're building today. Once you've got it, no one's words will ever shake you again. You'll stop needing approval. You'll stop crumbling under criticism. You'll be free. But first, understand something radical. It was never about them. The disrespect, the tone, the silence, that's just the surface. What stings is what those moments awaken inside you. Something old, something raw, something you've been avoiding. Carl Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you'll call it fate." That's what we do when we blame others. We hand them the keys to our emotional state and wonder why we keep crashing. Here's the truth. Nobody can make you feel anything without your participation. Anger, frustration, resentment, they're not caused by others. They're caused by your response. And that response is shaped by unresolved parts of you that you've hidden for years. Two people face the same insult. One brushes it off. The other spirals for days. The insult didn't change. What changed was what it touched inside them. Old wounds, hidden expectations, beliefs you've never questioned. We're not reacting to what they said. We're reacting to what it reminds us of. When someone ignores you and you feel invisible, that pain wasn't born in that second. It's an echo. When someone criticizes you and you explode, that reaction came from a need to protect an identity you've worked hard to maintain. That's the real battlefield, not the conversation, not the coworker or stranger. It's what's happening inside you. Here's the breakthrough. You are not your reaction. You are not your anger. You are not your pain. You are the awareness underneath it all. The more you connect to that awareness, the less you need the outside world to behave perfectly for you to feel okay. That doesn't mean you tolerate disrespect. It means your peace no longer depends on whether it shows up or not. That's a different level of freedom. Most people aren't really living, they're just reacting. One text ruins their morning. One comment derails their mindset. One bad look and they spiral. That's not living. That's surviving on emotional autopilot. But you can step off that ride. It starts when you stop making them the villain. Stop saying they made me feel this way and start saying something in me responded to that. Everything changes. You take back your power. Ask better questions. Not why are they like this, but why does this bother me so much? Not why are they so disrespectful, but what am I holding on to that makes me so reactive? That question, what am I holding on to? That's where you'll find your answers. Plato said the first and best victory is to conquer self. But conquering yourself isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about understanding where they come from and deciding if they still serve you. It's about noticing when your pride wants to fight back, when your ego wants to be right, and choosing not to be led by that. This isn't passivity, it's power. The power to choose your response, to feel the rise of emotion and not let it run your next move. That control isn't something you're born with. It's something you train, like a muscle, like discipline, like presence. The people who trigger you most are your greatest teachers, not because they're wise, but because they show you exactly where you're still attached, where you're still raw, where you've built an identity that depends on others treating you a certain way. When you use those moments as mirrors, not battlefields, you grow. That's the difference between reacting and evolving. Socrates said, "Let him who would move the world first move himself." That movement starts with watching yourself more clearly, becoming aware of the stories you tell when things don't go your way. When you believe someone should treat you better and they don't, that gap between expectation and reality becomes suffering. But when you accept that people act based on who they are, not who you are, you stop tying your emotions to their behavior. You become unshakable. Your peace is no longer reactive, it's rooted. You don't get offended as easily. You don't chase apologies. You don't need everyone to agree with you. You know who you are, and that knowing becomes your anchor, even when the storm hits, even when someone disrespects you, even when life feels unfair, because you've stopped trying to control things that were never yours to control. Epictetus taught, concern yourself only with what's within your control. Your thoughts, actions, beliefs, everything else is external. If you anchor your calm to the external, you'll never be steady. But if you rest it in the internal, nothing can move you. The next time someone provokes you, let it pass through. Don't deny the reaction, just don't identify with it. See it rise, watch it fall. Let it be what it is, a ripple, not a wave. If it still gets to you, if the sting lingers, good. That's not failure. That's the doorway. That's where you say, here's where I still need to do the work. The goal isn't to become emotionless. It's to become emotionally free. Not controlled by impulses. Not ruled by pride. But aware. Intentional. Unbothered. Not because you avoid life, but because you face it so deeply it no longer scares you. When you live from that place, people notice. They feel the steadiness, the calm, the energy that says, you can bring me chaos, but you won't pull me into it. That's not arrogance, that's mastery. Here's what most people never realize. You didn't write the script you're living by. Your reactions, the quick anger, the defensiveness, the need to prove something, those were learned, passed down, absorbed like secondhand smoke. You just started playing the part. Most of what you think is you, your temperament, your triggers, your reactions, isn't actually you. It's conditioning. It's habit. A script that started writing itself long before you were aware. Someone taught you that being ignored means you don't matter, that being challenged means you have to fight, that being wrong means you're not enough. These beliefs are like hidden code running in the background, and until you bring them into the light, they'll keep directing your reactions without your permission. Jung said it again, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Every emotional outburst, every sudden shutdown, every time you overthink something someone said, that's not fate. That's programming. And programming can be rewritten. But you can't change a script you're not aware you're acting out. So the work begins by becoming the observer, not the actor. You notice. You pause. You step back and ask, what part of me is speaking right now? That question opens the door to everything, because when you feel triggered, it's easy to believe that fire is righteous, that it's justified. But strong emotion doesn't always mean truth. Often it just means the script got activated. When you keep playing the same emotional loops with different people, you notice something strange. The actors change, but the storyline is always the same. It's never really about them. It's about what they awaken. Underneath those reactions isn't strength. It's fear. Fear of being seen a certain way. Fear of not being heard. Fear of not being enough. The script says, if I'm criticized, I must defend. But what if you didn't? What if you simply listened, filtered, and chose your response, not from fear, but from presence? That's authorship. That's taking the pen back. It doesn't mean you never feel anger or sadness. It means you're no longer reacting from an unconscious place. You're responding with awareness. That space between trigger and reaction is where your freedom lives. Viktor Frankl said, between stimulus and response there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. Think how different life feels when you stop reacting from the old script. Someone interrupts you, and instead of jumping to reclaim your voice, you observe, you breathe, you respond calmly, or not at all. Not because you're weak, but because not every moment deserves your energy. You've stopped auditioning for people who don't hold the power to validate you. That shift is transformational. It's the moment you move from being emotionally controlled to emotionally in control. Present, conscious, grounded, when you no longer need to prove or win or be right just to feel secure, you've won something deeper than any argument. The scripts that once controlled you lose their grip. The need for approval fades. The fear of being misunderstood softens. You don't have to mirror the chaos around you. You can be the calm that reminds people there's another way. Plato said, the first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. He meant discipline, self-awareness, the quiet strength of someone who knows their worth and doesn't need to scream it. When you're running an old script, it's not just your emotions that suffer, it's your relationships, your peace, your potential. How many doors have you closed because you reacted too quickly? How many connections have you damaged because the old story said, if they don't respect me immediately, cut them off? That story might have protected you once, but now it's keeping you small. Taking authorship of your reactions means you're no longer a puppet of past pain. You recognize patterns. You feel the heat rising, and instead of acting, you sit with it. You ask, what would my highest self do here? And then you do that, especially when it's hard. Socrates said the unexamined life is not worth living. Flip it, the examined life is where you find peace. That's where you experience sovereignty over your inner world. When you stop reacting from the script, you start writing something new. You stop being the echo of every harsh word you've heard. You stop playing roles written by fear or ego. You start living from choice. People will feel the difference. They'll notice you don't flinch like you used to, that you're not baited by sarcasm, that you don't need to win every interaction. You'll stop chasing closure from people who can't give it to themselves. You'll stop needing every misunderstanding corrected. Sometimes you'll just let it go. Not because you're defeated, but because you've chosen peace over performance. That's emotional authorship. That's power. So next time you feel triggered, remember that first surge of emotion isn't you. It's the script, and you don't have to follow it. Pause, breathe, reclaim the pen, write something better. Every time you do, you become less of a puppet and more of a presence, less reaction and more response. That's the path to peace. The only real control you have is how you choose to show up. Not what they do, not what they say, just you. Your awareness, your choices, your script. You didn't lose control when they said the words. You lost it the moment you took them personally. That split second when your heart tightened, your jaw locked, your mind spinning, that was the real surrender. The moment you got offended, you gave away your power. We live in a world where offense is currency. But when everything offends you, you're no longer responding to reality. You're reacting to a fragile self-image that needs constant protection. And that's exhausting. Aristotle said, anybody can become angry. That is easy. But to be angry with the right person, to the right degree, at the right time, for the right purpose, and in the right way, that is not within everybody's power. Real emotional power isn't found in reaction. It's found in restraint, in discernment, in choosing what deserves your energy. Offense isn't an alarm. It's a mirror. It reflects what parts of your identity are still fragile, still unhealed. That's where your real work lives, not in silencing the world, but in strengthening what's within you. When your worth depends on everyone treating you perfectly, you're always at risk. One sharp word and your peace disappears. What makes someone truly unbothered isn't numbness, it's clarity. Knowing your value doesn't rise or fall based on someone else's opinion. Knowing you don't need everyone to understand you. What you need is to stop volunteering your power to people who haven't earned it. That power isn't something they take, it's something you give. If you're not responsible for your reactions, you're a puppet, always at the mercy of others. But if you are responsible, everything changes. You can pause, reflect, refrain, choose, ask better questions. You start to see offense not as injury, but as insight, a signal that something in you is still raw, still seeking approval. Socrates said, "The secret of change is to focus all your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new." Getting offended is fighting the old. Old beliefs, old stories, old defenses. When you stop feeding that loop, you can build something stronger. A new default, rooted in confidence, in composure, in quiet strength. You stop reacting from wounds and start responding from values. You become harder to provoke, not colder, but wiser. The moment you realize you don't have to respond to every challenge is the moment you step into freedom. Not letting people walk over you, refusing to let them walk inside your mind without permission. Someone insults you. You hear it, you feel it, but you don't react. You watch it like a passing car. It's there, you see it, but it doesn't hit you. That's not detachment, that's self-respect. People feel that groundedness, that quiet command that says, "I'm not here to be triggered. I'm here to be free." Freedom is emotional sovereignty, knowing you're in charge of how you feel, not the world, not the crowd, not the stranger. Jung said, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. That quote shifts focus from blame to clarity, from defensiveness to depth. When someone lashes out, your instinct might be to take it personally. But the deeper truth, they're not attacking you, they're bleeding on you. That anger, sarcasm, sharpness, it's not a weapon aimed at you, it's a symptom of something unhealed in them. Pain leaking out. Jung said, knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darkness of others. The more you understand your own wounds, the easier it becomes to see that others aren't trying to hurt you. They're trying to survive. And survival sometimes looks like cruelty, but it's just pain in disguise. But recognizing someone's pain doesn't mean excusing their behavior. You can still set boundaries. You can still say this isn't okay. But you say it with clarity, not confusion, without tying their pain to your worth. Remember, their behavior is about them, not you. Stop absorbing the energy. Stop replaying the moment. See the pain for what it is, misplaced, misdirected, not yours to carry. Socrates taught, People aren't angry at you, they're angry at themselves for not managing you. Your calm reminds them of what they haven't resolved. It's not your job to fix them. It's your responsibility not to internalize it. If you let their bleeding define you, you become a reflection of their wounds, not your truth. There's another path. No retaliation, no shrinking, just standing in your strength and saying, I see what this is, and it's not mine. That's mastery. Inner stillness that comes when you realize your worth doesn't rise or fall with someone else's mood. Plato wrote, "Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. Most people carry something invisible, an old betrayal, a deep fear, a relentless voice in their head. Hold your ground, recognize the pain, honor your boundary, but don't take the insult into your identity. Let it pass, not because you're weak, but because you're finally strong enough not to need their validation." Over time, you see patterns, how often people lash out after being hurt, how coldness follows insecurity, how silence masks fear of rejection. The behavior that once wounded you becomes easier to interpret. You stop guessing what's wrong with you and start understanding what's unresolved in them. That shift is everything. The difference between spending hours trying to win approval and spending that time returning to your peace. Between reacting with anger and responding with clarity. This isn't easy, especially when words cut deep. It's natural to feel shaken. That's okay. You're not a robot. But you are here to be aware, to notice, to witness, and to remind yourself, this pain is theirs, not mine. Aristotle said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. So is peace, so is presence, so is emotional freedom, a daily choice to return to your center. Next time someone is sharp with you, pause, breathe, say silently, "This is their storm, not mine." You don't need to fix it. You don't need to understand it. Just know it's not a reflection of you. So when the world gets loud and people project their wounds onto you, stay rooted, not defensive, not dismissive, just steady. If this resonated, hit like and subscribe to MindForge. Drop a comment. What's one trigger you're ready to release? Thank you for walking this path. Your calm is your power. Never forget that.